Hi, it's me, Ada. So by the way, I'm testing out a new camera that I got for my birthday. So anyway, but one of the many fandoms that I am a part of is the One Direction fandom. And unless you've been living under a rock, um, you've heard that Zayn has left the band. And the last week or so has been very dramatic and emotional and tough for Directioners. First, there was the drama and everything about Zayn and Barry and the cheating rumor, which, by the way, I never believed and I don't believe. And Zayn taking a leave of absence from the tour, and then the Eleanor breakup and all of that. And then the statement where Zayn announced that he was leaving the band. It wasn't actually Zayn himself, which kind of pissed me off. It was just like management and everything. And Zayn still hasn't even tweeted anything yet. He has made some statement now or said something in an interview. But anyway, I was asleep actually when it came out, and my mom saw it and woke me up, and I thought she was just talking about saying taking a leave of absence from the tour, because I don't think I told her that, and so I thought she was talking about that, and then she said no, he's actually leaving the band permanently, and then wrote the statement for me from Facebook. And then I just immediately went on Twitter, saw all the trending topics, saw what the fans were writing and the pictures and the edits and everything, and that's when it hit me that it was real, and Zayn was actually leaving the band. And I just want to say one thing to all you girls who were on your period when you got the news. You are one strong bitch. Because I was on my period, and at least for me, sometimes I and 10 times more emotional than usual when I'm on my period. So I was just when it hit me, that it was real, that it wasn't just a rumor. I could literally feel my heart break into a million pieces inside of me. And I couldn't stop crying. I was just a mess for the first 24 hours. But then the day after, I started thinking and kind of seeing it from his perspective. He talked about how he wanted to be able to have a normal life, like a normal 22-year-old, and just that he wasn't ready for the fame and all of that. And I just want to say that I completely understand and respect his decision. Um, None of us know exactly why. I do think it has been going on for a while, and I do think he's been having a hard time for a while now, and I just think that it was just really messing with all the fame and all the attention that they were getting, and just all the media and the paparazzi and the craziness and the fans and the craziness and the craziness. I think it was just too much for him, because Zayn is actually a lot like me. Now, I don't know if he has been formally diagnosed with depression or anxiety, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was diagnosed with either depression or anxiety or both, because he is, he's an introvert. He's always been a very shy person. He's not very, what do you say, much for people, in interviews and stuff. He doesn't really talk that much. He answers if the questions are directed at him, obviously, but he's not the first to kind of say stuff. And I think, and talking in between concerts and interviews and stuff like that, I think that's very uncomfortable for him, like out of his comfort zone and kind of out of his element. And I just don't think that he was just handling it, you know, and all the fame and stuff, and it was just taking a toll on him, and I think he's just been really stressed and anxious and depressed. I think he's um, just been trying to keep going, you know, because he didn't want to disappoint the fans or the boys, obviously. But now, you know, he just said, you know, enough is enough. Like, I have to decide if that is more important than my own sanity, like my own mental health. And he chose his own health over that, you know. I still don't think that it was an easy decision for him. I think it was very hard, you know. I think he probably feels like he's disappointing the fans, and not just the fans, but the boys as well, you know, because like they're not just a band, they're brothers, you know, and they are losing, you know, brother, or like not losing as if as and he died, but like, you know what I mean, like they're not gonna be with him like every day, like on tour and stuff. They're gonna be like on tour for months and months, and they're not gonna see him. Obviously they're gonna be in contact, obviously, but it's just gonna be like their families and friends and stuff who they won't be able to see like 2/3 of the year, you know, or more than that, because they're always touring. And like I think that like that all of the boys actually need like a really long break, like you know, at least a little break, because they have literally been working nonstop since they started out on X Factor. They have not taken a break at all. You know, maybe a little like at during Christmas and stuff, you know, be with the family and stuff, but then just back to work, like, and like album tour, album tour, album tour, and like then the movie, and like album tour, and like they've basically been on tour like pretty much the entire year. Like they release an album, they do a little promotion like TV shows and award shows and stuff like that, and then they go on tour like around the world, and they just and they don't have time for anything else. Like, and then when they finally do have a little break, they obviously spend it, you know, to see their families and friends and stuff like that, and just to relax. But like they really haven't had like an actual break, you know. They're just always working nonstop, and I think it has really taken a toll on them, and especially Zayn. I think it's really taken a toll on him. I think it's been really hard for him. I think he's just become really depressed and stressed because of all this, and I think that if he would have continued, you know, and I know fans are upset, obviously, who had bought concert tickets, obviously, thinking they would see all 5 of them, and then finding out, you know, that Zayn wasn't gonna be there. And I get it, like, if it was me, I would be, like, crushed. I really do get it. But you also have to kind of see it from his perspective and try to put yourself in his shoes, and also try to think, like, you know, not just be so selfish and think of yourself, you know, and just think about his health and what is best for him. Because honestly, like, if he would have continued down this road and continued the tour and everything, I think it could have ended badly, you know. I think it could have, you know, I don't know, collapsed on stage due to stress, or maybe even taken something or did something, just because the stress and the anxiety and everything was just too much for him. And I just think, you know, you know, we all know he's been using some drugs, and Louis as well, but you know what I mean. I don't know. I think he's just kind of lost himself, and you all, like, you just have to understand, like, that, like, these boys, they're all like in their late teens or early 20s, and they're at the age when, like, you're just trying to find yourself, and you're trying to, like, find your place in this world, and just try to figure everything out, and figure life out, you know, and it's hard enough to live life, especially at that age, but let alone if you, like, imagine just, like, having the whole world documenting everything, like, watching your every move, criticizing everything you do, pointing out every single mistake, like, and even making up false rumors about you. Um, and, like, the sick thing is that people actually believe it, and, like, anyway, just imagine, like, I don't think, and people who, like, criticize celebrities and, like, well, you chose this, like, whatever, blah, 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 but, like, they didn't choose the fame. Like, most of celebrities, like, artists, musicians, singers, most of them are doing it because they love what they do, because they are passionate about what they do. They love the music, you know, or the acting, or whatever it is that you're doing. You know, they're not doing it for the fame, and obviously they know that the fame comes along with it, but, like, you're not always, like, thinking ahead all the time, thinking about, like, I mean, I don't think that Zayn or any of the boys could have imagined, like, how big and huge and crazy this would be. Like, it just became an overnight sensation, and now they can't, like, go out the front door without just paparazzi and fans and everyone in their faces. They can't do anything without people knowing about it. And, like, and honestly, I don't think that, like, most of the people, like, criticizing these celebrities and saying, like, well, if they didn't want fame, they shouldn't have, like, chosen that, like, career, whatever. Like, I don't think that, like, most of those people would be able to handle it, like, because living life is just hard enough without just having people criticize you and judge you and just everything. So, anyway, I think it's just very hard, and just especially for Zayn, because he's just a very vulnerable person, and he's a very shy person, and not very, you know, not very outgoing, and, like, and this business, this career, you know, it's basically just, you know, you have to be around people a lot, like, not just, you know, performing and, like, doing the music, which is why you're doing it, but also, like, doing interviews and doing, like, all kinds of stuff that maybe you don't really want to do, you know, and stuff. So I just think that fans need to step back and think about that for a minute, and just think about just his health and his sanity. Just, like, Zayn is doing this to keep his, you know, mental health in order, you know, because we don't want to see him, you know, spiral down and just end up like one of those people who have, like, those celebrities who have died due to, like, suicide or an overdose or whatever. Like, I mean, that could be Zayn. Like, if he keeps going like that, that could be him. Like, because just the stress and the anxiety and everything is just, I mean, he's just losing control of himself. And I think it was a hard decision for him to make, but he had to do it. You know, he chose his mental health and his sanity over everything else. And I am just really proud of him. I think it's very admirable for anyone to do that. You know, your mental health is so important. You should never risk anything for your own mental health and your own sanity. So I think that it was a hard decision, but it was the right one, and it was a necessary one. And of course I'm upset and I'm sad, and I don't, you know, think that it will ever be the same. You know, One Direction isn't One Direction anymore. Like, without Zayn, without one of the boys, it's not the same. And it never will be, you know. Obviously, I will keep supporting the boys. I will probably keep buying their albums and listening to their music, but it's not gonna be One Direction anymore. It's not One Direction anymore. It's just Harry, Liam, Louis, and Niall. You know? So, but anyway, I wish all the boys the best, and I wish Zayn the best for the future. And also, yeah, to the fans also, who are sending hate to Perry and like blaming her for this and all of this, leave her alone. Seriously. Like, this is why, and also fans who are like being such drama queens and acting like Zayn has died, comparing it to like the 150 people who just died like in a plane crash in France. Like, no, okay, I mean, obviously we're upset, and like, I get it, like, I'm with you, I feel the exact same way, but also we do need to put things in perspective and realize that there are other things that are more important to worry about than Zayn leaving One Direction. You know, Zayn did not die, he's still alive, he's still here, and he's taking care of himself, he's thinking about his own health, and we should be proud of him, and we should be happy for him and Perry. You know, they are in love, they are going to get married, there's nothing you can do about it, and Perry has done absolutely nothing to you, so there is no reason for you to attack her or hate on her in any way, or send her death threats or whatever, or any of the girlfriends of the boys. If you really do care about them, like, you won't send hate to their girlfriends, because they would not want that. That would hurt them if they saw that. And also just put things in perspective, and at least be thankful that we still have them. Like, Zayn is still alive, he may not be in the band anymore, but he's still alive, he's still here, you know, and, you know, who knows, maybe he'll come back, or have a solo career, like, I don't know. Just right now, he just needs space, and he needs to relax, and he needs time for himself away from the spotlight and everything. So, I am just really proud of him, and I just hope that he gets better and he comes back stronger than ever. And like, we are in this together, Directioners, and also like all the other fandoms that have been so supportive. Like, thank you so much, and like, I am a part of like 50% of those fandoms anyway. So just, I love you all, guys, and I love you, Zayn, and I love you, Harry, Liam, Louis, and Niall. I love all of you, and I love you, Directioners. You know, we're in this together. I'm with you. This is a hard time for us, but we will get through this, and just be proud of Zayn, and just be happy for him, be happy for all of them, and yeah, stay strong, guys. Bye.